Come on, it's Raleigh. I'm gonna have to edit that. All right, everyone. Welcome to the Casuals. It's a sports talk show, sports and other stuff. Got my buddies here. I got King. King, raise your hand or wink. I don't know what you want to do. And then Raleigh. Raleigh with the Eddie Bauer sweater looking thing. And I'm Lap. And we are going to talk about sports and a bunch of other things today. So we can let's go ahead and get started. So guys, we just had a fight last night, Porter versus Ugas, and Porter won by split decision. What do you guys think? Let's start with you, King.
Porter always wins ugly. His fights are always ugly, and people because people just kind of want him to go away at this point. He's known to be a roughhouse, ugly fighter, a spoiler, if you will. But I hate to say it, but I think Porter deserved the decision. He was boxing from the outside. He landed more cleaner punches upstairs, and I thought he earned the win. I really thought that he thought a close decision.
What do you think, Raleigh?
That was a very it was not a pleasing fight to watch. I thought Ugas controlled him. Not controlled him, but didn't look like Porter the way Porter usually fights. He looked like he was backpedaling the majority of the fight. Ugas really slow, but he timed him well. He got him when he needed to. Porter just didn't look to me. Players was telling me that he knew that he didn't have a good fight. I think he just got help from boxing politics there. There's no way to make money off of Ugas, so they gave it to him.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. I don't think that was the Sean Porter we normally see, who's uber aggressive and attacking. He was standing and he looked like he wanted to counterpunch instead for a long time. And then eventually, he would dive in. But a lot of it didn't look like the normal Sean Porter. He even looked kind of scared. And then the body language at the end was, it looked like Ugas thought he won, and then it looked like Sean Porter thought he might have lost,
Yeah, I don't know what Porter was thinking. Everyone knows you raise your hand at the end of the fight, whether you won or not. You raise your hand and influence the judges. It's a close fight. Why not raise your hand? You see Ugas is raising his hand. He's right in your face. Raise your hand, Sean Porter. I don't know what you were doing. But so you guys have kind of penalized Porter for not fighting his normal fight. Does that mean, so the guy's not fighting his normal fight. So he has a new game plan. Does that mean that the judges should automatically make him lose the round? He's landing more punches. He's hitting the guy more times in the face in the round. He should earn the 10 in that round, right? Why do you penalize him for fighting a different style than normal? He did it from the gate. It wasn't Ugas that made him fight that way. He came into the fight with that game plan. He fought that way from round one on.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm not.
He didn't look good in there.
He never looked. Sean Porter.
He wasn't a good fight football player. It was the worst fight that I've seen in him. I think that's probably why Ugas was in the game, because he was, for Ugas, that was probably easier for him to do than if he was doing his typical roughhousing technique. I thought Ugas was going to gas out at some point, and if he was going to get roughhoused, then he would have drained a lot faster. But whatever that tactic was, it kept him in the game.
So you guys thought Ugas landed more punches, he won more rounds, right?
I don't know if Ugas landed more punches, but they were more eye-catching to me when he did land them. Sean Porter, he doesn't have like a set area that he punches. He just punches everything. He punches arms, ribs, just kind of everywhere. So I could see he's making contact, but Ugas was punching, chin and and temple and ribs and stuff. So it was easier to see uh, to me that, and it was more eye catching. But I think that if Ugas would have won, if the judges said he would have won, I wouldn't think it was a robbery. Would you?
No. I mean, I thought they might rob Sean. People are ready for Sean to go away. He's not a pleasing guy to watch. This new guy. I thought I thought that's the only way the decision should have gone for Ugas. If the judges if someone, the powers that be, were looking to get Sean out of the picture, it was close enough to where you could have given Ugas the decision, and it would not have been too outrageous. But
did you and it was at the last round where Porter, the ref said that he slipped. Seemed to me that he got knocked because of him to slip. That should have been knocked out. That probably would have won.
That would have earned Ugas the victory. You're right. That's a good point. But the punch, yes, a punch made him fall, sort of, but it wasn't due to damage. It kind of caught him on the side of the arm here, and he kind of slipped, but it wasn't from the punch. So I'm not mad at the ref's decision. But Ugas, did you guys know that Ugas beat Terrence Crawford in the amateurs?
No,
I was expecting a lot more. It was very disappointing.
He actually beat Terrence Crawford in the amateurs, but I don't think he has the speed at this level, at this professional. And he obviously doesn't have the knockout power. He only had 11 knockouts. So he looked like he was punching hard, but apparently there's not much force behind those punches. So,
No, and I think Porter probably didn't train as hard as he probably could have. That's why it looked that way. So, who knows? But, it was ugly. I always cheer for the underdog, and this one I really thought he was going to get it. But, in the back of my mind, you always have to say the house fighter has to win.
Yeah, he was a champion, right? Yeah. I mean, Lap, do you believe in the moniker, hey, you have to take the belt from the champion, or do you think, hey, look, these two guys are on even playing field coming in, let the best man win? Does the champion have an advantage with the judges?
Well, I think unfortunately we see that the champion has the advantage with the judges, but for me, ideally, you win because you won, meaning you played within the rules, you scored the most points, or you controlled the ring, all the traditional ways that you measure if someone won in boxing. But we've seen fights where the champion probably should have lost, and because they weren't knocked down or knocked out, that it wasn't good enough, and so they cruised to a win. That's unfortunate. Spence versus Garcia. We'll start with Raleigh this time. What do you think about what's going to happen at that fight? That fight is coming this coming Saturday on March 16 on Fox PBC. What are your thoughts, Raleigh, on that fight?
I really want to see Garcia pull this off. I always go for the underdog on this. I can see the only way for Garcia to win is this either majority or split decision on this. I don't think he's going to hurt Spence at all. He has been working out with that Victor Connie group, Snack. Snack season. He looks huge, by the way. I don't know how that'll translate. He's gained all this weight in a matter of months, so maybe all his speed is gone. Maybe his timing will be a little bit off. But I'm gonna go with him split decision on this, and it'll be a close fight. Otherwise, he might get knocked out.
What about you, King?
Well,
this is a hard one. When I first heard the fight, I couldn't believe what Garcia was doing, risking an undefeated record. He's one of the pound-for-pound best fighters at 135. But came up to 140, beat Lipnitz last year, went back down. Even at 135, the guy is not solid. You can look at his stomach; it looked like he just left a buffet last night. When he's fighting, he's not a solid guy. So how is he going to jump up to 147 and fight an Errol Spence who's draining himself to get down to one? Errol Spence is a huge 147. He's blowing through legitimate 147 pound. So I felt bad for Garcia, but I have to give Garcia credit. Everyone else seems to be ducking Errol Spence, so I gotta hope that because of what he's doing for the sport. going up and trying to be great. I give him a lot of credit for that. My heart will be pulling, even though I like both those fighters. I like both those guys. I will be pulling for Garcia to win. However, it's just not going to overcome the size and the skill, quite frankly, of Errol Spence. Now, Garcia is extremely skilled, but he's giving up too much weight. I see Garcia having his moments, maybe winning some rounds in the first half, but Errol Spence eventually wears him down. I think Spence is going to stop him late. I'm going to go for a 10-round stoppage via Spence. It might be a towel stoppage or referee stoppage.
Yeah, I generally agree with the both of you in terms of what it could look like. I think that I think I can see Garcia surviving for sure. I think more likely he's going to survive, but I think he gets knocked down at least 2 times. And I think that he'll be a champ and rise up, but he gets knocked down, and it's going to be pretty much a dominant performance by Spence.
So you've got Spence via decision, wide decision.
Yeah, but it would be a wide decision.
These two guys really haven't fought any Hall of Famers. So do you put any weight into that? Because I think the biggest name that Spence has probably fought is maybe Kell Brook. Kell Brook and I don't know anyone else. Maybe
Algieri.
Hey, he beat Lamont Peterson from D.C. from
Lamont
our area.
Peterson is very solid.
Into a pole.
Yeah, he did.
What about, so people say that he also gave Mayweather a very hard time in training. Mayweather admits that, has admitted himself in interviews that, hey, Spence gave him a lot of tough work in sparring. He's rumored to have knocked out Adrian Broner in sparring, and Adrian Broner, hey, Adrian, we want to interview you. We're fans of yours, Adrian. But the rumor is...
Who's we?
has, those guys. Well, hey, Adrian, we want to interview you, man. We welcome everyone on our show. But the rumor is that Spence stopped Adrian in training, and the rumor is, well, I actually heard this from other fighters that were there in interviews, that Broner was crying, and crying. People had to convince him that, hey, you don't want to continue this. So with that said, he may have a lot more experience than we think behind the scenes. I think it's going to be a great fight. I think Garcia is going to win. I think Garcia believes in himself so much that makes me almost question my own decision.
Really does.
The guy is acting like he's the favorite.
He looks like he's about to turn heel. He's going to play the bad guy to become more famous, like Mayweather.
Garcia will?
The way his smirk is looking now is like he knows something that we don't know. I think he's going to turn heel. I don't know. It's just the way he's acting.
I would advise that. I've never seen. Have you guys ever seen I support all the Mexican fighters. But have you ever seen a Mexican heel? Maybe Antonio Margarito. He's the only one I can think of. That might be a new angle. That might get be wise.
Yeah. Turning bad guy is always a good idea if you want to make more money in boxing. So right now, I don't. He's a solid guy. I don't have any other reason to like him in good fights. But if he becomes that guy, there's a reason to root against him. I think he'll get more beauty.
Yeah, he said from the beginning he saw something. Like, oh, I see something, and people have still been speculating on what that is. And that's what I'm looking forward to in the fight is let's see what he saw.
Yeah, I saw a Tim Bradley interview, and he said the same thing, that he saw something that he thinks that Garcia saw, and that he'll be able to exploit him. I really want to know what that is, and I can't wait to see that.
Oh, I know what it is. I think I know what it is.
Okay.
People have said this and asked Garcia, and Garcia kind of didn't respond. He doesn't want to give it away. But it's the fact. I think they think that, and it's true. Errol Spence doesn't have good head movement. He comes forward, and I do have a lot of boxing skills. I know what I'm doing here. Errol Spence raises his hands up and kind of comes forward, and he tries to catch everything. He tries to, catch all the punches, and he does. Well, actually, I'm moving my head more than Errol Spence there. Errol Spence doesn't move his head very much. He says that he likes to block the punches, and I think that Garcia, he's known to have a lot of punching power, even at 147. I mean, it's known behind the scenes that he would batter Marcos Maidana around in training back in the day. When Marcos Maidana campaigned at 147. So I think Garcia thinks that he's going to be able to catch Spence cleanly with his power shots because of lack of hip. I think that's
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, that's really putting all your hopes and dreams on that one. What if he worked on that training camp? So,
Garcia.
but no, that'll be very exciting. I can't wait to see that. That's I don't know any other fight other than wanting to see Wilder and Fury, which doesn't sound like it's going to happen this calendar year.
No. You're ordering that pay-per-view, right, Rally?
Absolutely. You got it. You got to.
Got to order that. Yeah, same here.
Yeah. All right.
You ordering the pay-per-view?
No, I don't. I don't watch pay-per-view on my dime. I'll go to someone's house. go to Raleigh's house. All right. What about this news that Pacquiao is gonna go to the Spence and Garcia fight because he's interested in the winner? Two out of three of us believe Spence is gonna take the fight. So, what could that look like? What could it look like, Spence versus Pacquiao? Let's start with you, King.
Well, I think Spence, with his style, coming forward, not a lot of head movement, plays right into the traditional Pacquiao, who throws punches in bunches. He gets in and out. Pacquiao wants you coming toward him, I think. Especially if he wants a guy that's not going to back up and try to, play cat and mouse. Spence is coming right at you. That plays right into the old Pacquiao, the young Pacquiao, style. The Pacquiao of today, his legs aren't as mobile, in my opinion. He's lost the leg speed. He doesn't have that bounce. He still has hand speed and power. I hate to say this. I'm teetering here. Earlier, I would have said Pacquiao. We have to really see how he looks against Garcia. I think if I were to pick now, looking at age and looking at how Pacquiao looked against the Australian, I would have to go with Spence. I would have to go with Spence, the decision. But my view can be swayed based on the next fight here.
You think Pacquiao will look bad against Spence? I would like to think that Garcia would make Pacquiao look worse. Just in terms of their technical style. Plus, he'll probably be setting them up all the time on tracks with Spence. We know Spence might be going forward all the time using the strike on the Pacquiao.
But Spence will be coming right at Pacquiao. And that's what Pacquiao needs. Pacquiao doesn't want to chase a guy around. Garcia might make him have to work and follow him around. Spence, look, if Pacquiao can put those hands on you and unleash those combinations, if you're right there to be hit with that, even today, we saw what it did to Adrian Broner, right? Broner just kind of covered up. He was like a deer in headlights when Pacquiao had him cornered. And I think Spence is going to be right there in front of him.
That was very disappointing to watch. But yeah, no, I would say Pacquiao would probably look better fighting Spence, but he could also go to sleep against Spence.
Yeah.
I think either fight it'd be very exciting to see. I don't know, but Pacquiao at this age, lasting the full 12 rounds with these guys, I don't know. Especially with Spence, I don't know.
Can he avoid damage? That's the question, in my opinion.
Yeah, that was my take on it. Is that I think Pacquiao wins. I think he wins fairly easily, actually. Just like you said, King, that he's gonna be moving. Spence is gonna be moving towards Pacquiao. Pacquiao still has the hand speed, still has enough power that Spence has to respect it. But I think Spence is gonna get in some heavy shots, probably to Pacquiao's body. And even though I think he's gonna get the win, he's gonna take so much damage. I might even be the last or second to last fight of his career at this point, which is already close to that point anyway. But it would be very, very painful for him. Kind of like, even though he won handily with Cotto and even Margarito, but he took a lot of damage from those big guys in those fights. So I think that it'll be similar to that. He has the superior hand speed. He's gonna make Spence look silly in the middle of the ring. But if Spence can get him, one rib shot, slow him down a little bit, and land a couple more, and just do that throughout the fight, Pacquiao is gonna have a really bad night, even though he takes home the W, I think.
Yeah, I don't see Pacquiao taking on Spence. I think he'll probably switch to Keith Thurman, who looked much more vulnerable in the last fight. It's probably the best time to fight Keith Thurman, coming off as a big layoff. So, maybe
Yeah, I think that's the best.
if I were Pacquiao's team, I would make Spence the last fight. Thurman right now, he seems to be the easiest to get a belt from.
Yeah, but Thurman's going to make Pacquiao chase him around, though. Do you think
That's
that
true.
could compose a problem back?
Yeah, and that's true. That's true. So there's no easy choice for Pacquiao right now. I think the easiest fight for me is for his team is to get Thurman, the ones who at least hold him down.
I think one last aspect about this, and it's Pacquiao of 2019. Besides kind of losing some of that leg bounce, his activity rate is now a lot lower, in my opinion. That's another thing that he would overwhelm guys with his stamina and his work rate. He doesn't have that anymore. So I think he'll be doing good against Spence when he's punching, but when he's trying to take his breaks that he takes these days, Spence is nonstop. He's a nonstop machine. He's coming forward. He's throwing a lot of punches with bad intention. So I think that could pose a problem today.
No, that's a good point. I think Pacquiao has turned into a counterpuncher, and I think he likes. He's very comfortable. Sitting back and counterpunching even more so now than before. Not as exciting, not as attacking. Until he touches someone, and even then, when I've seen, even in the Broner fight, when he touched Broner, he didn't go for it like he used to. He didn't land 10 to 20 to something punches and finish him off. He kind of punched and then stepped back and waited.
Yeah. He still has good power though, because unless Broner was just there for the money, didn't want to do any fighting, he shelled up pretty quick. But he's not going to fight the way he's going to fight, and he's not going to have any breaks against Spence.
All right, switching to March Madness. Are you guys following any of that March Madness? Let's start with Raleigh.
No, not really. It's just watching clips of Duke. Duke seems to be in NBA. They've got 4 NBA guys in that team. Once Zion Williamson comes back, that's going to be the Duke Invitational. So I don't know. It seems to not be any good to me.
See, I think
they could spoil it. They're boring. Effective boring style could get them, but they're 0-2 against Duke this year. I don't see them getting back at Duke. It'll be a close game, but it's Duke's season to lose.
But even with Zion Williams, Duke is beatable. They didn't go undefeated, and I think someone could chop them down. We'll see.
I think next time DJ should close that door.
Yeah. No, don't close it now. Oh no, close it now. Just close it now.
You see that I'm an athlete, right? You see my punching bag and speed bag? I've got all my material back there, my man cave, my big screen TV. You see that 110-inch screen back there?
Yeah, well, the lighting's not good. You got all that fancy stuff, but the lighting's not good.
Oh, there you go. That's better. Yeah, that's better.
But now it looks like a horror movie. Did you want to comment on Duke or March Madness?
I don't follow amateur sports. My statement is I don't follow amateur sports. I watch the pros. If you want me to watch, make it to the professional leagues, and I'll watch you. I am following Zion because they're forcing him into my sphere through ESPN. He looks like a great athlete. That's all I have to say about it. Duke, I don't like Duke due to our Maryland Duke rivalry back in the day. They get the best athletes. They should win. I don't know about college sports, guys. What can I say?
What do you mean you don't watch amateur sports? That's a very stuck-up stance.
Hey, look, I'm a busy guy. I have a lot to do in my daily life. If you want me to sit down and watch your commercials so you can earn revenue for your league, give me top quality material. I don't watch amateur boxing. I don't watch amateur tennis. I don't watch amateur swim meets. You know, I watch the best, pros. I'm
Okay.
silver. I want to watch the best.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, what about LeBron? Let's. I'm a big LeBron hater. So his team, the Lakers, are probably not going to make the playoffs with about 18 games to go, and I think they're quite a few games back of the eighth and final spot. And I don't think they're going to make it, and I'm pretty happy about that. What do you guys think? Let's start with Raleigh.
I love it. I love the drama, all the infighting. I love it. I can't wait. Let it continue. It's great. It's great. I love it.
This guy is feeding off of the negative energy. I think it's kind of sad, actually. LeBron, he did great things for many teams. He had a big streak of going to the finals, and it comes out to LA, and it's all seeming to implode on the guy. I think it's actually a little bit sad to watch. I mean, I don't feel sorry for an athlete making that type of money, but I think LeBron has seen his best days. Do I think they'll make the playoffs? Absolutely not. They seem to be going in the wrong direction. They've lost by trying to trade away half the team, failing at that. Now you have to play with these guys. Team chemistry is destroyed here.
How wild is it? Carmelo Anthony doesn't want to sign with him. I really
Carmelo
don't.
Anthony doesn't want to sign.
No.
What options does he have?
And he signs with everybody.
Yeah.
Even greater. Yeah, that's terrible. I think he's a great player, but I think he's a dinosaur now. The way his style is, he can't operate without the ball. He needs that ball. I don't mean
Carmelo.
No, LeBron. LeBron is he's his style is back in the 2010s. It's not good for the league now. The league now values inside out. He can't go from there.
You mean his style was like 2018, huh? Because he made it to the finals. Did he make it to the finals last year?
Well, him and his super made it to the finals. He didn't go to the finals.
I think we've discovered another LeBron hater. We know Lap is a self-admitted LeBron hater.
I hate him.
Raleigh just gave an honest opinion, but this sounds like a hater. 2010 style. The man made it to the finals last year.
You know who I think won those championships? I think Dwayne Wade won those championships, and I think Kyrie won that championship. I didn't think LeBron won those championships.
LeBron, you could say he's a high-level glue guy. You know, he can't do it by himself, but he has other people around him. He's the glue that helps him win the championship.
No matter who you put around the guy's gone to the finals 8 years. Now, it just so happened that they had a super team out west. I think they called them the Warriors, Golden State, or something like that, right? They're the only reason LeBron doesn't have another 3 or 4 titles right now. I mean, you can't beat Kevin Durant on top. You can't beat adding Kevin Durant to an already overwhelmingly powerful team. No one can beat that type. But LeBron made it to the finals year after year.
I think adding Kevin Durant hurt the Warriors. The Warriors were finally too good. They didn't need Durant. Durant took looks away from a lot of good players in that team, and you can tell with the he essentially punked Durant, and I would leave that team without Durant because that guy punked you, and he's a good guy. He's no Durant, but
oh, King doesn't like that. King doesn't like this right now.
Well, I'm just looking at a slogan for our next video. We just heard Raleigh say that. I think that's a nice slogan for the next video. Look at people that click on there. Title of the video, I think Kevin Durant hurt the Golden State Warriors in the 2017-2018 season. I would click on that. I would say, wait a minute, did I miss something? I would click to hear that opinion.
You don't think that's true? See, their record is just what by that. I don't think their record is as good as before. Ever since he came here. Durant as well is like he needs that ball. And,
He does need the ball somewhat, but I think he has adopted their style. Draymond Green got all up in his grill a couple times, and I
do hope he signs with the Lakers. That would be great, especially if they implode. That would be fantastic. But if they work, if it ends up working well, great. Then you got another super team out in the Western Conference.
So where were we?
Hey, the WNBA season It's coming up quick.
Oh,
It starts
that's
up
exciting.
May 24. Oh, wow.
That's exciting.
We'll have more. Yeah. The Washington Mystics of the W. I'm looking forward to that. So, yeah.
King, do you like the WNBA, King?
Whoa, I was going to ask you guys who your favorite top three WNBA players were in last year's season. Do I watch them? I'm usually very busy during the summer. Let me put it that way. No, I don't watch them. I've tried to watch. Okay, they're fine athletes. No, I don't watch. I don't watch the WNBA. What about you guys? I mean, I support them though.
I'm on travel this summer a lot, so I hardly get to watch. But when I do, I check the scores at least of my hometown Mystics, and they seem to have a good team this year. So we'll see what happens on May 24th. That's exciting.
Wow, May 24. I can't wait.
What about you?
No, I can't wait.
You're a big fan, right?
Well,
you're a big fan.
Well, it's surprising to me that you're not a fan since you like pro sports. If you said, that if you want me to watch you, you come up through the amateurs and you become a pro, then I'll watch you.
Well, I didn't say I like every pro sport. I mean, I bet you guys couldn't even tell me who won the championship last year in the WNBA. Could you? No one can. No one can.
Well, it wasn't the Mystics. Okay.
The Mystics did not win.
The Mystics did not win.
They came close. They came very close. Yeah. They had an injured player. I think that's what caused them. Yeah.
Okay, well, more to come. I beat reporter here. Raleigh is our WNBA specialist. He'll be coming back in future videos, folks, to get you your WNBA news. So we'll have more to come on that, I think, right, Lap?
Yeah. Well, speaking of lady athletes who are, at the top of their game, there's this kid. She is her name is Toni Harris, and she is a cornerback who will be playing for Bethany College, this year. What do you guys think about that? A female cornerback in in college football. What do you think, King?
This is the first I've heard of this. So you're telling me she's playing with the male.
Yeah, she's playing with the men. Yeah. Yeah, her name is Toni Harris. She is she's covering these guys. She's covering these burners, on the field.
He's got to be good at speed in that. So she must be really good.
Must be, and I would know a lot about that. I actually played actually safety and cornerback in high school. I was very fast, as you guys know. So I know a lot about that. Maybe we can interview her one day. But I am very surprised to hear that. Well, that is going to cause me to watch an amateur sport. I want to see how this is going. She's obviously very fast. I mean, what is her name? I'm going to Google her to see what
Toni Harris.
How she's built.
She's 5'7", 164 pounds. And she's got to be fast. She's got to be fast. I've never heard of. Yeah, when I was in high school, we did have that one girl who was a kicker, and she was a really good kicker. But as far as a skilled position like a cornerback, that's crazy to me. That's great. I support women. It's International Women's History Month, and I really support all women, including women athletes. What are your views on that, King?
Oh, I support the same thing, buddy. I don't know, what you expected me to say there. Of course, if she can compete with men, more power to her. I'll be cheering for her. I'll be her number one supporter.
Do you think she can cover you?
Do I think she can cover me? Today, you may not be expecting. Yes, today. Well, no. Sorry. Do I really think she can cover me? I don't know anything about her. 5'7". The stats don't sound too frightening. I would have to see her on the field. I'm not going to make a chauvinistic call like that. Say flat out no.
Okay.
I'm hoping that she does well out there. At 5'7",
I hope she makes All-American. That would be great. That would be great thing to see.
Is this a Division One? She playing in Division One?
No, I don't think it's Division One. It's Bethany College, whatever that is.
Probably Division 3.
So she's going to get her own locker room, or will she be sharing locker room with the male players?
Well, no, she probably has to. That's a good question. She probably has to be in her own locker room.
But imagine.
It's not.
But, I will tell you a story, right? Back in high school when I played football, I swam 1 year, I played football 1 year, ran indoor track, ran outdoor track. Also a good scholar. Back in high school when I was on a football team, you got a lot of the coaching in the locker room, right? We were in there changing clothes. The coach would come in there and give us a little talk, and he would walk out. So that's why I kind of wondered about the locker room situation, because she's not going to be. She'd maybe miss a few moments like that. It brings a different dynamic to the sport, having two genders on the same team. But I'm all for it if she can handle it without any changes to the rules for her.
Great. Okay, next topic is Creed 2, the movie. So let's start with Raleigh. What did you think of the movie?
In general, I liked it. Senior turned back on his life principle of if he dies, he dies. It seems like he's softened up there. I just don't believe that happening to some guy who supposedly grew up in a rough Russian world, training his son like Todd Marinovich's dad. I don't see him turning back and saying, "Oh, my son's about to die. I better save him." I think he's just going to go, if he dies, he dies. So other than that, it was a very good movie. I'm a big fan of Tessa Thompson, who played his fiance in there. She's been great in another show I watch on HBO.
Oh, yeah. You're talking about.
So,
I've never heard of her.
Otherwise, sure. Yeah. Well, what did you think about it, King?
I just watched it just now on my screen back there, my humble screen, my man cave back there. I thought it was a great movie. I mean, I watched the whole thing through and through. And my wife would have enjoyed the movie. It had enough of a love story for the women, pregnancy, having a baby, that type of thing, to keep the women interested. Then just when you're thinking, hey, when are we going to see some boxing, right? Cuts to a boxing scene, cuts to some training. I was shadow boxing at a certain point of the movie, like all the Rocky movies get me doing when they start training. He was underwater, throwing punches underwater, hitting the bag. It had a great storyline. It had great boxing scenery as well. And I liked getting the story from Drago. You got to follow up on what happened to Ivan Drago after Rocky beat him in that older Rocky movie, right? Found out that he'd been raising his son. Just a very good movie. Good movie for men and women alike. I wonder if there's going to be a Creed 3. I don't know. But I like the movie.
Did
you see it?
Yeah, I did. I saw it. My take on it is, I didn't like that movie. I think that one, it was from a cinematography standpoint, it was really slow moving. I mean, it was like a lot of dialogue for about half of the movie. And again, spoiler alert. Then you get to the part where they get into their first match, and then then there's a disqualification, and then more training, and then finally the big fight. And the fight scenes too, again from a cinematography standpoint, the fight scenes. I mean, there were some scenes where he swung, and I could see that he didn't land, and he moved his head anyway. It was just hard to buy. I mean, So I don't think, from that standpoint, from those two standpoints, it wasn't that great. And another thing that I didn't like was the fact that they humanized Drago. Like there were times I felt bad for him. That's not good. He's the villain. And I know they're trying to probably make it sophisticated and nuanced, but I think it cost them because I didn't know who to root for. Like I got confused on, who to root for. So I didn't like that part.
The Russian killer robot. He shouldn't have feelings. He's not human. So I didn't like that.
Yeah, well, I mean, you still were rooting for Creed throughout the fight, but I think they were making Russia look bad in a way. The whole Russian administration or society turned their back. Spoiler alert here on Drago after he lost that first fight. So they did. You're right. They humanized him. Drago worked with his son to train his son up, and they did the same thing to his son. You saw during the fight where the big Russian politicians walked away when it looked like the son was about to lose. So, I think part of the movies attempt to make Russia look bad. And I know the first movie came out during the Cold War era, so a little bit more politics than I wanted to talk about. But,
yep.
I thought it was great. Now, one thing I will have to say, though, last thing I want to point out on that, it depends on where you watch the movie. Now, if you watch a movie on a $1.99 TV, right, or a cell phone somewhere, you're not going to feel. When I watched the movie just now, I felt the punches landing. I felt them. I said, "Oh, that hurts me watching that," because my chair, everything was vibrating as the punches landed.
Are you doing a commercial for your entertainment system right now?
Well, we'll try out any brands out there that folks want to send to sample. But I'm not going to give any brands. I just want to say you need the right setup to enjoy a movie like that.
Well, if you're
the slow moments, they had good music playing and things like that, so you gotta have the right setup.
Yeah, I got solid setup. Fantastic. They did good special sound effects. So,
my systems are not bad either, and that wasn't the problem. The problem wasn't TV size or sound or haptic feedback or whatever you're talking about with your chair. It was just those things. It wasn't that great of a movie. I give it a D plus. D is in dog plus.
Oh, wow. That's really good. I'd say a B minus. It's a sports movie. As a sports movie, I give it a B. Yeah. There were a lot of good actors in there. I had Wood Harris from The Wire. Who else? Got Bridget Nielsen from Flavor Flav.
Yeah.
Looks like she's turned herself around. Good actor.
So more boxing. Beecher, we know that you signed up for a DAZN subscription. Tell us about your experience with DAZN.
I call it DAZN, right? But then when I watch Eddie Hearn, who's the promoter promoting fights over there, he always calls it DAZN. Now, it's spelled DAZN. How you get DAZN out of that is, I don't know. I call it DAZN. But it's only $10. Now, I'm not, hey, look, we're not getting paid anything out of that comment out if you want, but it's $10 a month. I'm a big boxing fan. HBO Boxing went away. Canelo signed to DAZN. All of his fights will be on DAZN. They're talking with Wilder right now. Wilder's probably going to sign in the next coming days, and Joshua's already there, so Joshua Wilder's going to be next. Danny Jacobs, he's on there. He's fighting Canelo. That fight has already been signed. So it's $10. I pay that on my gym subscription. I really don't go, but it's just $10 a month. No more pay-per-views. So when they have the big fights, there's no pay-per-view to order. You just open your DAZN app, your DAZN app, and you're watching the fight. I think it's a pretty good deal. I kind of like it. I want them to sign more fighters because my $10 a month is not going to go up. I think it's a pretty good thing.
Yeah, I agree with that. That is really good. It's better than paying like $75 every other month. That's But for me, I'm not going to sign up until there's like a true super fight in there. If there, maybe the closest I'd sign up for is Canelo and Jacobs. I like Jacobs. He's a solid guy. But if Joshua and Wilder come up there, I'm definitely signing up for them.
Are there Asian fighters? Are there Asian fighters in the Asian app?
Well, I don't know. They were talking with Pacquiao. Pacquiao didn't sign. They probably have some, but I don't know. We have to interview Eddie Hearn and check it out. It's not just boxing either, by the way. For all you soccer fans, now I'm a soccer player. I played soccer growing up. but I don't watch soccer. They have soccer league on there as well as Bellator fights. I think there's Bellator mixed martial arts fights there also. So I'm sure there's some Asian fighters in there. Are you gonna sign up?
No, no.
First month is free.
Yeah, still no.
I'm waiting for a big fight. There's nothing right now.
Nope.
No.
Canelo, Jacob, that's a big fight. That's a big fight. That's a dangerous fight for Canelo.
When is that? Is that in May? Yeah, I'll probably sign up.
It's already signed. It's coming up. It's probably, you know what? He always fights on Cinco de Mayo. I bet it's.
Yeah.
Can you give us your
I'll sign
login?
up. Yeah.
Hey, of course not. Guys.
Is it a single watch login, or is it like you can watch from multiple screens?
Come on, King.
I think it's a maximum of 3 devices.
Oh,
Of that nature.
okay. You only need to watch one device.
Oh, there you go. It's Asian, smart.
But I think it's a number of devices registered, right? I think I've watched from my cell phone. I've watched from one of my Fire sticks. I do have a third place ready, but yeah, it's just $10.
Can you watch old fights? Is it they have a library? Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yep.
All right.
Also, they have their own subscription as well, and they have just signed Tyson Fury. Terrence Crawford fights on there as well. So they're trying to build up their own subscription model.
Yeah. Crawford needs to fight a live body. I can't wait to see Khan and Crawford though. Crawford's they'll knock out Khan.
Yeah, but is Khan's going to give him a good fight, right? Khan is very fast.
Khan might take him deep, and then he'll get knocked out.
Yeah. What do you think, Lab? You're a big Khan fan.
No, where did you get that from? I'm not a big Amir Khan fan at all. I don't see anything good in him. Like, I mean, he has really fast hands, and that's it. That's all we can say. He's terrible defense. He gets hit.
Gold medalist.
Yeah, he's a gold medalist. He gets hit a lot. But I will say this about him: he doesn't. He calls everybody out, and he doesn't duck anybody. So that's the one thing you can say about him. But as far as him as a fighter, I mean, like Danny Garcia just took him apart. And then Canelo pretty much basically ended his career. I think. Like I don't even know what he's.
Well, he was winning the fight now. But keep in mind, when he fought Canelo, he jumped up out of his weight class against a Canelo that was draining down to one, and he was winning that fight until he got knocked out.
He was definitely landing and he was hitting, but he wasn't affecting Canelo. Canelo wasn't hurt at all in the fight.
No.
It was pity patty touches. It wasn't anything substantial. And then Canelo touched him once, just once, and that was it.
Yeah, that's all it takes.
Hey, speaking of touching, R. Kelly.
Oh my God! You know where he was gonna go with that.
He's out of jail now. He's out of jail. I think great music. I think he's going away for a long time. What do you think about that, kid?
Well, whatever the law, I don't know if the guy's obviously done some bad things in the past. Somehow that all got settled. I know some docu-series came out recently. I hope the law punishes him. If he's innocent of these latest charges, I don't know. I don't know this. I just know what I saw on the TV program.
Did you hear his?
Let the law determine it. I don't know.
Did you hear his comment when he got out of jail? A mysterious figure, paid for his bail. I don't know why he can't pay for his own bail. But he said that we're going to get this all settled out pretty soon. Seems to me they're going to try to pay off whoever the victims are. So maybe that's what's going to happen. And then I don't know if that'll make the police go away. Apparently, there's Yeah.
Well, Lap, you're big. I thought you were.
I definitely listened to R. Kelly's music, especially during his heyday in the mid to late 90s. but I wouldn't say I'm a fan, and not just because of his, extracurricular activities. As terrible as those, as terrible as those allegedly are, but I will say that he wasn't very believable in a recent interview. He put on I think he put on a show in a recent interview, and so I pretty much believe his victims, and especially International Women's Month, we want to make sure that we believe women when it's credible.
We love women.
Yeah. But yeah, I think he's guilty, and I think he should go down. His music is good. I think it makes me not want to listen to a lot of it, as much. And actually, I have it. I really have it. Not really since the '90s. The late '90s. He hasn't really, to me, produced anything after that that I like, at least. Yeah.
I think he's been blackballed. To be quite honest with you, we don't hear his new music anymore. I don't hear it on the radio. I wonder, is he still making music? I imagine he would be. Why wouldn't he? Maybe they're just not playing it on the radio because of those previous allegations.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not the hugest fan. I like some of the songs, though. I like some of his songs from the past. Let the law determine what happens. That's my opinion.
Yep. Great. All right, thanks, guys. That brings us to the end of our agenda. This is the Casual Sports and Talk Show with myself, Lap, King, and Raleigh. Thank you guys for listening in and watching us. We'll see you next time.
Take care, everybody.
Okay.